Yes, welcome back, Shimboners. Been a delayed pod, but we're back. It's the Chief here, and I can welcome back. He's finally made it back into the state, Bazza. How was your trip, Baz?
Yeah, very good. Wasn't overly warm in WA. It was nice for us Taswegians, but it was a nice temperature, about 23, 24 most days. Very good to get away for the first time this year, unlike you, just jetting away every couple of weeks, it seems.
I need more rest than you do, and more R&R. Anyway, we'll tell the listeners what we're talking about. We've got a big trade recap to do. We've got some latest news, late trade news. The trade's over, Brady, but we've got some late breaking news on Charlie Curnow, Jy Simpkin and the fallout. And, of course, we'll talk about our reigning, defending, undisputed, undefeated, record-breaking champion AFLW girls. But first, you've got some breaking news, hot off the press on Charlie Curnow and a link to North.
Yeah, so as reported by Kautumi, at the 11th hour throw at the stumps from Brady when the Charlie Curnow deal to Sydney was dragging along and they were waiting to stump up a little bit more. North came in and offered up a future 26 and 27 picks.
Future what?
Future firsts.
Future first in 26.
And 27 to enter that race. So very interesting. Obviously, Curnow just shy of 30, a really good player, but I'm glad this one didn't go through. I don't know about your thoughts. I'll get to you in a sec, but I think forwards aren't really a great concern for us. I think our forward line's probably our strongest line.
Yeah, I agree.
We've got Trembath coming through, Larkey, and then Curnow's not really a pack crasher anyway. He's similar to sort of Larkey in a way. He's obviously a lot more athletic, but he relies on that hit up.
He's more a Jezza Cameron type. Get up and back, kick long points from outside 50. I like Charlie. I think he's a very good player, but there is question marks over his knees. So you'd hate to give up too much and then have him break down. But we'll watch how he goes at Sydney. I like it. I like the late throw at the stumps. If everything falls over, Charlie, get the hell away from Michael Voss and come over to Clarko.
Well, if he can't handle Voss, he's not going to be able to handle Clarko. As long as he's not cuddly Clarko.
Well, he's been cuddly Clarko too much, but I think the angry Clarko is about to emerge the next year.
Another problem I have is the two future firsts. Like, we're crying out for key defenders. I'd rather keep that draft capital and use it to acquire a really good key defender into the side.
Well, 2026 future first would be a top 6 pick. Doesn't matter how optimistic you are, I think that's more realistic. And 2027 you got Tassie coming in, so it's probably, even if we finish bottom 4, it's going to be pushed out to the late single digits, early double digits. Yeah, so it's a lot. It's putting all your eggs in the Curnow basket and what we've already got on the list, isn't it? But I do rate him as a player, but like you said, edging 30, how much longer has he got?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. He's obviously a supreme talent, but yeah, I think the forward line's the least of our worries at the moment.
Yeah. Anyway, it didn't happen. He's gone to Sydney. So anyway, it's just a talking point.
But let's talk about the trade period. Obviously, very quiet for us North fans. I didn't listen to a great deal of trade radio. I know you did, and no doubt you'll be installing a ream and stopping by Continental Tyres, as they love to plug the same ads on that program.
Well, that's why it's lucky I've got a mute button. I wish I had one on this pod sometimes, because you tend to ramble a bit.
Jeez, that's rich.
That's pot to kettle.
Yeah.
Pot to kettle. I was happy with the trade period because the Empire strikes back. The clubs finally said no. We're not doing this trade. And hats off to Essendon for doing it. Hats off to St Kilda. Why give them their ruckman, who will probably be their second ruckman, Marshall, to Geelong? Geelong are in premiership too. That's their missing piece is a decent ruckman. Why would you give the opposition a leg up? So well done to both those clubs. Well done to Brady for not taking whatever that stupid offer was from Collingwood. It wasn't worth reading. So the clubs and Brisbane as well for Archie.
Well, that's going to blow up in their face.
Yeah, but they're putting a line in the sand. They're saying, don't come after our mid-tier players because we won't deal with you. And Porter putting a package together, because obviously it's really only Porter can probably realistically challenge. They've got plenty of money. They can pinch him. So we're getting back to
For
Adelaide.
family in WA. It'll be interesting to see if West Coast have a go.
Yeah. Well, they should. They definitely should. Anyway, it's a risk. And but I think that finally the clubs have shown some balls and held on to their players. And that stupid Tommy Petroro, the manager, going off his nut, it's not Essendon's fault.
No.
He's their player. You made him sign the bloody 7-year contract. Don't then spit the dummy and throw all your toys out of the cot, you moron.
I agree.
You've got too much power. And now finally someone said no and you don't like it.
I agree.
Well, suck it up, princess.
You and I have spoken off air a lot about this, and I think that there should be a threshold, say 500,000. If you're on more than that, then the clubs can choose where you go.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll give them a lot of power back to the clubs.
And that won't happen, according to all the sort of in the
Should
know
happen.
people. But I think the first step is, if you're one of these people, I want to go home, well, you can nominate the state, but you don't get to choose the team. Because, like, if you go back to the Horn Francis deal, we would have got a better deal with Adelaide than what we got from Port Adelaide.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, I'm glad that clubs finally stood up to the managers.
And I'm glad...
And I still love the fact he soaked it up so much.
He did.
Mate, that's the rules.
Unpopular opinion, it seems, according to a lot of the socials, but I'm glad the club stood firm with Jy. We're a lot better serviced with a 27-year-old who has proven form in the past than going with draft picks and poor draft picks they were that were offered from Collingwood. So if it's going to be an interesting one for Jy. I mean, Michael Barlow said on one of his podcasts that he didn't share exactly what he said, but it was a pretty strong and positive message from Jy. I assume along the lines of he's going to come back and leave no stone unturned. He's always been a hard trainer, but it'll be a bit of an awkward situation to come back into after not officially requesting a trade, but definitely testing the markets elsewhere.
We'll back up a little bit over Jy, right? So he's had an exit interview with Clarko and the coaches that didn't go the way he liked it. They had a difference of opinion on whether he should be a starting mid or not. I mean, we'll go back to 2 years. We've been calling to put him on the wing because we think he's got all the attributes to be an elite winger, not just a good winger, but an elite winger. And he played well there from the end of the season. Anyway, obviously, difference of opinion. I'll go and look around. Well, mate, no one looked back at you really. Collingwood had a very half-assed effort and offered us nothing. And we put a high price on him. You could say the price is too high, but just like Essendon with merit, he's our player, contracted, long-term contract. If you want him, you give us something we can't say no to. Make us an offer we can't refuse.
Yeah.
And no one did. And the offer was bloody pissing into the wind, wasn't it? It was a terrible offer.
I reckon going into it, Jy overrated his market value.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to get to in a long-winded way. That, Jy, people don't rate you as high as maybe you rate yourself, which is fine because you've got to have confidence in yourself. But our club finished 16th. Couldn't get him in our starting midfield. I think he would get in Collingwood's starting midfield, ironically enough. But because most of them are off to the old people's home with Goldie, aren't they? But there's not many that would take him. And even West Coast, I don't know if he just wanted to stay local in Victoria or not. But you think West Coast would have probably had a throw at the stumps. But by all reports, no one was interested. Anyway, Mickey Barlow said he slept very well because he got a text or a contact from Jy, and Jy's going to come back, work hard, loves the boys. So hopefully he still loves the club, and it'll just be a blip on the radar.
Well, the big thing is, and I'm sure you agree, it's pretty agreed upon throughout supporters, is that he can't come back as captain. And I think it's as strong as he can't be in the leadership group. So that...
it won't be captain. And we're going on to the captaincy?
Well, yeah. Well, before you interrupted me, that's where I was going.
Okay.
I was going to say, who would you like to see captain the club?
Nick Larkey. We could have multiple captains with him. We could have Damo Barrett. We could have Rafa Nadal.
Yeah, Donald.
Oh, the Donald. Yeah, take over the world.
It's a great club, North Melbourne.
It's a tremendous club. Really good. I think he deserves it. He speaks really well. He's done the ultimate shinbone of hard yards. He could have taken off to Sydney about 3 years ago on a big offer and played for a big club, being their key forward. And I want success with this club. So he said all the right things. I don't care that he's a forward. We've got enough experience in the midfield and down back to you don't have to have your captain being a midfielder. And yeah, I think he'd be great. Give him two years minimum, and then I think we've got someone wearing the number 3 who can just slide in beautifully. But I wouldn't put it on him yet.
No, it's too soon still. I'm sure he could handle it, but it's not worth it in today's. And people love to go back to Carey, but the media focus these days is off the charts on every single aspect. Obviously, Wayne was the youngest captain in the club's history.
Yeah, and we spiked as soon as he came in. Like, we had a spike. We made finals. We weren't languishing down the arse end of the ladder.
So I've had to think about it, and I think it's going to be a 5-man leadership group, so I've come up with 5 names for you. So
you've done some prep. Lying by the pool in WA.
Yeah, Nick Larkey, I agree. I think he'll be captain.
Sole captain.
Yep. If he's not captain, I think it's Tristan Sherry. Not sure he has the media skills of Big Silv, but
he doesn't quite speak as well as Harry, as we found out in the best and fairest.
He lets his actions
it doesn't
do the
matter.
talking.
Yeah, exactly. Action man.
So Harry Sheasel, of course, remains in there. I think Luke Parker comes into the leadership group as that midfield voice, and someone who I think is definitely a leader at the club and I'd like to see introduced into the leadership group next year is Charlie Curnow. I think he can really make that back line his and be that leader down there.
I like it. No, so I'm just thinking as you're speaking, as we're going along, I'd have sole captain Larkey, vice captain Sheasel, and then have your deputies, or just your leadership group. They don't have to be deputies, who you said, Parker
and Chom. Another positive of having Silver's captain is we've had over the last couple of years our captains be, that spot in the side question where I think he's a permanent fixture in the best 23, so it sort of evades that awkward conversation at times as well.
Yeah, we're talking more about Elmac than Jy. Jy's spot was never in question. His position in the midfield maybe, but not in the best 23.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see how he approaches the pre-season, and no doubt he'll have to speak at some point about it. The club interviews nearly everyone across the socials over pre-season, so it'll be interesting to see if that's addressed or not.
Well, while we finish up on Jy, his manager on Trade Radio, David Trotter, ex-North Melbourne, very short career at North due to injuries, ex-top 10 pick. He said that Jy was dealing with some issues, personal issues, so he didn't, rightly so, didn't go into detail, but he said he would speak when he came back to the club. And obviously he's spoken to Mick Barlow, and Mick Barlow said, as I've already said, slept very well after speaking to Jy. So I think all things are well there. Elmac obviously had a much better year this year than when he was captain, and hopefully Jy can follow the same trend. Just get that burden off him. Just go and play your best football. It's going to be probably a new role, not one you envisioned yourself playing, but do your best at it.
Well, it's pretty simple. Play wing or play VFL.
Yes.
You want to play midfield that badly, go and play next to Will Field.
Yeah.
If you're still
and if it turns out badly, they'll No, we won't go there. But they'll return next year. It'll be deja vu, but I don't think that'll happen.
No, neither do I. Someone we did farewell yesterday, a bit of a cult hero. Didn't take long for him to take that status. His big Finbar, unfortunately.
The Moose.
Traded across to Adelaide.
Yes. Now, there were rumours that Sydney were interested in him. And I think he'd be a great fit in Sydney.
Or maybe that...
Just sit him in the cage, in the goal square, and let him fly for marks on that smaller ground.
Once they got
just kick it long. It'd be like kick it long to Snake Baker in the late 70s. It'd be kick it long to the Moose.
Well, once they got Curnow, that wasn't going to happen.
I think you're correct. And Finbar, as much of a cult hero as he is or was at North, he wasn't even close to my best 23.
No,
all being fit,
strong hands, but
a
lot of other areas for improvement.
And I think if you look at he started like a house on fire against Essendon, which was his best game for the club. He kicked 2 or 3, didn't he? I can't remember. Played well anyway, but the club's worked him out. He's contested marking, and that was it. And you put a bit of body work into him early. Don't let him get the run and jump, and he's a very average player after that. But having said all that, he's an ex-North Melbourne player, and we still loved him.
Yeah.
And he had, the high marking, contested marking is an absolute weapon of his, but that's it.
We wish him all the best.
And I don't think he's in Adelaide's best 23, but they're just having him as probably a fifth pick forward, and who knows if he comes in, that they have got a weapon, they can kick it long, because they haven't really got a similar type. Not many clubs have. I mean, Thilthorpe would be the closest, but he's more your real muscle, not your run and jump and sit on someone's head and take a third up sort of contested mark. Anyway, good luck to him.
Good luck to him. Let's talk a little bit about people getting a bit frustrated that Brady was just sitting on his hands, and it seemed that way throughout the trade period. But I think it's better. We've seen too often over the past few years with the likes of Zach Fishers of the world that we've just brought in people for the sake of it and not on good deals, and it's burned us. So if we can't get the targets that we identified that are going to be best 23 players, I'd rather just go in with our draft hand than bring in fringe players from other clubs, because it just hasn't worked.
Yeah, I 100% totally agree. And obviously he was doing some work because he had the backup plan for Curnow if he wanted it. Now, whether we've already debated whether that was overs to pay 2 future firsts for him, but at least he had a plan. And these late, 11th hour deals often will be taken.
What about Lee Kalir? What were your thoughts there?
Well, early in the year, you liked him, and so did I, but you brought him up, so I'll give you the credit to come over to the club. Like, we're talking March this year, but when old JD tore him apart, 30-odd-year-old can't jump, can't run JD.
I reckon his last month at the Giants was horrific.
Yeah.
I watched nearly every game. He got beaten all the time, and then he was the number one player in the competition for percentage of lost one-on-ones.
Yes.
So I think he plays too similar a role to Chom.
Yes.
And we need more of a Jordan Butts than a Lee Kalir. We need someone who can lock down on the big dogs.
Apparently he was the worst one-on-one defender in the comp for tall defender, but he was the best at spoiling. So third in spoiling. But I mean, modern game, you only spoil if you really have to. The third in's got to be taking the intercept mark. So yeah, I'm not disappointed. And there were queries over his ankles apparently, and he's over in Europe. He's not available. If he was serious about going to another club, he had to come back and do medicals, fly back. So he didn't do that. So I'm very glad that Brady didn't. He's a 4 or 5 year at $700,000, and then he turns out to be crap. So I'm glad we didn't get him. And like as you've said, he doesn't add to our. He doesn't give us anything different for our backline. And Chom's better. Chom's a lot better.
100%. Anything else from the trade period you want to talk about before we move on to the
Well, let's talk about merit. Essendon, right or wrong?
Oh, 100% right.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think we covered that earlier, didn't we? But yeah. And I'm just glad. I look at the merit situation as watching cricket, because we often throw to cricket for similarities, watching England play India. So there's two teams you hate in Essendon and Hawthorn, and you're watching. It was fascinating watching because nothing happened. So it's like both of them playing for a draw or something. Like, it was just fascinating but boring at the same time. And I'm very happy that little smiley bloody Mitchell, who goes around trying to pinch everyone's players in season, got nothing. And Hawthorn losing Warple, and to a very much lesser extent, Jy Simpkin.
And CJ.
And CJ are a worse team than they were a month ago. So, anyway, sucked in. I'm just glad that people stood up to him.
Yeah, I agree. He's very much a snake, isn't he? Gets his wife to go and
bring
woo
around
the girlfriend
bring
or
around
partner.
some scones or something, or a bottle of red. I don't know what they do, but I'm just glad they missed out.
And last one from me from the trade period, a big thank goodness we didn't pay extreme overs like St Kilda did for Sam Flanders, because we've got enough short midfielders. That deal will bookmark this. He will not be a needle mover at St Kilda for the money he's on.
Correct.
Right, let's talk about the girls. So another win, 21 in a row. The winning streak can now drink in America. closer game than we sort of anticipated against the Tigers, but still ran out 6 goals the better side. What were your thoughts, first of all?
Well, 21 in a row, that reminds me of another team we hate. We just spoke about.
Oh, 21 years in a row for Essendon.
I wanted to drop that. No, they were really good. I think teams are really bringing the pressure to us, and it's been a bit of a trend, and it's been a bit of a worry, but I think our ruck, our centre clearance is vulnerable because our rucks aren't getting first hands on the ball. And I think Kim Rennie plays really well around the ground and can link up well, but we saw, I think Essendon did it to us, and certainly Richmond in that first quarter they got the first centre break, but then they couldn't score, and we struggled to get out of the back line. Well, not struggled, but it kept coming back in. So I think that's just against the really good rucks in the competition. We've just got to watch that we're not getting first hands on the ball, and mostly our midfield's good enough to get away with it and win the ball back or shark their taps. But when it doesn't go our way, it's deep defence. But luckily our defenders are just really good.
They are, and Richmond brought the heat. I thought they won the midfield battle for a large portion of the game. Ash Riddell, and even I thought the whole midfield got bullied a little bit earlier and were a bit fumbly.
Yeah.
But obviously we got the better of them in the second half. But the likes of Ella McKenzie and Mon Conti really gave the girls in the middle the best challenge they've had all year.
Yes.
And it was good to see them respond late. But yeah, a bit concerning that they did match with us. But it must be exhausting to go in as huge favourites every week, and you're not going to play your best football for every minute of every game. So it's good for the girls to get these challenges and to be able to respond, I think.
Yeah, and we are the hunted, so they all lift 5 or 10% to play us because they want to match themselves against the best. And I think their game style tried to bring it undone with what we do to other teams, a really quick ball movement. If you watch that first quarter, particularly when everyone's fresh, as soon as they got the ball, they got rid of it, like Richmond, to the outside. So they beat us at our own game, got the ball quickly to the outside, then got it deep inside. But luckily, Carney in particular, Libby Birch, they read the ball well. I think Eliza Shannon had the best game for us. She was really good.
One thing they did do as well, Richmond, they didn't fall into the trap that we set for other sides where they just kick it long to the outnumber. They looked to bring it into the corridor quite a bit as well.
Yeah, on transition a couple of times they had it. They could have kicked it to the outnumber from around the wing, centre of the ground. They didn't. They held the ball. So teams are working us out whether they can do it for 4 quarters. But obviously no one has yet. But we will talk after we review this. We might do a little preview of Adelaide because I've couple of things I'd like to say about them, because I think they are our biggest challenger.
Right. Well, just while we're speaking about Richmond, it's interesting to note, I take their record out of it. They beat Adelaide a couple of weeks ago, so they're a better side than what their record suggests. And
they were finalists last year.
They were. They almost beat us last year down here. They were probably the closest to us.
They put up a really good fight, and our class, as it normally does, shone out in the end. But yeah, they're not a 17th place team. They're better than that. They're finalists. And who have they lost other than Sharon, who came to us? Sharon. Who else have they lost? I wouldn't know enough about them. But she's the only A grader they lost, which is a big loss for them. But I mean, Conti is a fantastic player, and her kicking is something else.
It's unreal.
It is something else. Her kicking, I thought we had probably with Riddell and Craven had the fighting for the 2 best. Oh, and Jazzy, the goat. But her kicking was really good darts. I'll give credit to opposition when it's due, and yes.
Particularly in that last quarter, when it was wet and a lot of players were sort of just kicking for distance, she took a mark on the wing, turned, and before she was fully frontal to down the line contest, kicked it around her body, a low dart, and just laced out. Yeah. And Rexham players like, wow, just watching that, should be a good one to recruit at the end of the year as well, get her into the midfield.
Yes.
But the injury toll's starting to stack up. Obviously, we've got a few that are out for the rest of the home and away season. We can add Mia King to that, which really hurts the inside midfield grunt.
Yep.
Looking forward to the next couple of weeks to see what they do. Obviously, the teams have come out and they've just brought in AGM. So I think we will see increased midfield minutes for Ruby. We might see some Bell already. I'd love to see Jenna Bruton thrown back in there as well. I think her scrappiness and put her head over it, but then her elite ball use as well would be a great addition to the midfield. And she knows the role.
Eddie did it in the second half a lot last week, and I think her and Bruton, I think you're right, will rotate through there from the half.
Wouldn't mind a bit of Tess Craven through there as well.
Yeah, well, she's got the wing nail down, and we like her kicking on the outside when there's not as much pressure. She's got time. She'll lay someone out in the forward 50, which is what we want.
But
right.
Let's get to the votes quickly before we talk a little bit more about the girls, because there's some standout performances I want to talk about. Now, I found this game really hard. I don't think there was anyone who sort of put their hand up to be the best on ground, but in saying that, I thought everyone played their role pretty well, and there was some really good performances from some unsung heroes.
Yes, I agree. Let's talk about the Bricky Wall goal.
Yes.
Well, it wasn't her goal, but she could be a weapon from the back line because she can kick it 60 metres. Where she got it in the half back line, we couldn't sort of get it out of the back line. She just burst, kicked the long left foot, went about 60, but I mean, bounced about 15 to be fair. And because we've got the speed in the forwards, I think it was Randall ran onto it and goal. So just a weapon. Now, I don't know if she's got the nous to play as a backline player, but just get her behind the ball to use that left foot weapon. I think
she was often playing as the highest forward for that reason. I reckon.
So high half forward and then go the defensive side and use that weapon on the way out. It can really be an asset for us, and already has been. Right. Sorry, I digressed, but we're back to the most prestigious award in all of the AFLW, the Carney.
Right, so I'm going to take the new ball, and I gave 5 votes to Talia Randall. I think she's been unlucky not to poll more this year, but she was fantastic, clunked everything, was unlucky to only kick 2 goals, missed a couple there, but I thought just her forward presence, and it's what she does without the ball as much as what it is with it. Like, she was taking those strong marks, getting involved, a lot of score involvements, but then also defensively, her chasing, her pressure for a tall forward. It's fantastic, and obviously a big congratulations to her as she goes to play game 100 tomorrow at Arden Street, and get along if you're listening and available.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I didn't give her the 5. And she's often fighting 2-on-1. And I can remember getting 1 mark on the lead, but most of the other marks were contested marks, overhead contested marks, and she pulls them down. It's just making something out of nothing.
Yeah, and she was enormous early when we were losing that midfield battle, and Richmond had a bit of a ascendancy. If you don't take that, they rebound it quick and puts more pressure on the back line. So just so important to stand up and clunk them like she did. The 4 votes I gave to Emma Carney. I thought her rebound out of half back, she was enormous, particularly in the first half. Her hatred to lose a one-on-one contest is something I love, and she's always getting into the opposition, but so good. Bursts through lines, gets over the back of defences, and is a really good kick as well. So I gave her the 4 votes.
I've got her in mind, so I'll talk about her as well. I agree with what you said, and also a pointing and direction. I mean, on the call, they summarised her as Luke Hodge-like, with the direction at half-back, and you could see her pointing and calling people back and just getting them to set up in the right spot. So it's like having Croc out there. Let alone a ball use. And what did you mention? The dummy and the set up Randall for that goal on the mark. Yeah. 2 opened not just one candy shop, but a whole what are they called? Franchise, thank you. Jeez, I'm struggling today.
Yeah,
whole franchise of them.
I've had a week off.
Yeah, exactly.
While we're talking about the commentary team, big tick. I thought they were fantastic.
Yes, we do criticise them when they don't know our players' names. But I didn't notice them, so that's what you want.
Yeah.
I noticed them when they said things like the Luke Hodge comparison, and they were good.
3 votes I gave to Jazzy Garner. I thought she was our best mid on the day. Had 30 and kicked 2, but I don't think her influence was that big. Like, I think the stat sheet might have flooded her a little bit, but she does go under the radar because she's such a high talented player, and we expect that. She's got a bit of the Sheasel tax.
Oh, definitely.
Her and Ash both do, but kicked those 2 goals in the last quarter to fit well to blow the lead out. So I gave her 3.
I thought she was very good.
I gave 2 votes to Erica O'Shea, very similar. her ability to run, create, and win one-on-ones. And she's a great tackler for her size. I'm sure we've said that plenty of times on this pod, but fantastic game from her. And the one vote, who's very unlucky to get one, I did have her higher initially, but Alice O'Loughlin, to come back, had 21 disposals. I think she had something like 13 contested, and she took a mark which ended up hitting the post, but she went back not knowing what was coming. To do that after a lacerated liver or kidney or whatever it was takes extreme courage. So a massive tick for her, and great to see her get so involved after what was a really short layoff. We expected not to see her again till potentially finals, and she's back and making a huge impact. A couple of unluckies, obviously Ash, 37 and not to get in, very stiff. Livia Birch and a lot of the back line. But they're my votes. Who have you got?
Right, I've very similar, but a couple of key differences. I gave Alice the 5. I thought she was exceptional in winning her one-on-one contests when it wasn't even kicked to her, particularly to her advantage. She just won them and fought hard for the ball when that release kick out of the back line. Unfortunately, didn't get in the goal kickers, but that didn't matter. She was just contested balls. She was just winning them all. And as you rightfully said, you could almost forgive her for being a little bit tentative with the liver. I mean, that's a shocking thing.
Well, we've seen Petrarca do it.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, absolutely. But, yeah, no signs. She got flattened early in the first quarter, fairly, with just a very solid bump. She should have received a free kick when someone got the face claw on her, like the alien, little baby alien thing that sucks on your face. So, like, she should have got a free kick for that.
She's like Big X. Can't buy free.
Can't buy free. Alice always seems to be on the wrong side of those decisions. But I thought she was enormous. I gave 4 to Ricky O'Shea. I thought her bounce out of the back line was very good. She would have had hundreds and hundreds of metres gained. I haven't looked at the stats, as you know. I don't look at them. I just go off the feel of the game. But she was very, very good. Talia Randall, enormous, like almost Carey-like, just the big figure up there forward, marking the ball more often than not, and if not, fighting really hard for it, giving a key target.
3 votes, a bit stiff.
They're all stiff. They could all argue for 5. I gave Ash 2 votes, 37 possessions. They were a bit unlucky. The first quarter, the whistle seemed to go against her. She gave a couple of really big tackles, but they were slightly high, so it was a free kick against for her. But I thought, 37 possessions. So you can't it just rolls off the tongue with her, but it's enormous. No one else got that, and she's getting that every week. So she gets the 2, and I gave 1 to Carney. Like you covered her just in the first quarter. She was the difference between them having multiple shots at goal or us rebounding it, and she just one-on-one. She's an absolute fierce competitor, and don't undersell the direction she's giving in the setup, implementing Croc's plan, defensive plan, which teams find very hard to break down, and a lot of that obviously goes to the coaches and her directing on field.
Well, let's
unlucky, the GOAT. I mean, what she had, 30, kick 2, that's a massive tax. The ATO has come for her. She did not get in line. And I thought Blah Blah. I mean, we can go through a lot, but I thought Blah Blah was really good. And if you haven't listened, go back and she was our very special guest, our international guest from Ireland, and a great person to speak to, and gave us a lot of insight into how she came along. And we said her marking will come on, and her contested marking was fantastic.
Bit of a self-tick.
Well, I'm not taking credit for it, but, you know.
Croc will be flat. Yeah, does all the hard work, and we take all the credit.
Well, it's a mindset thing, and I put it in a mind that she'll be a great mark, and she was. But in all seriousness, how she didn't get paid that one in the goal square, and then if it wasn't a mark, it was definitely front-on contact. I don't know, yeah. Anyway, we're not going to go on about the umpiring, but that was a massive miss, in my opinion.
It was. Anyone else before I get to the leaderboard?
No, I thought Shannon was really good, really solid, and very unlucky not to get in the votes.
Right, let's have a look at the top 5. We'll start with a tie in 5th. We've got Mia King and Amy Smith on 17 votes. Ruby Tripodi in 4th on 18 votes. The before-mentioned Blah Blah on 19 votes. And in 2nd, Jazzy Garner on 46. And our leader still is Ash Riddell on 61 votes.
Yeah, Amy Smith, I forgot to mention her. She was unlucky. She was very good as well. Anyway, we'll go on to the preview of the Adelaide game. Just a quick preview, because I think they're our toughest competitors, because you can argue Brisbane, and we haven't played Hawthorn yet. We haven't played Melbourne this year, but they're tough. They can be tough, but the others bring a bit of speed, whereas Adelaide, I think speed can beat them, but conversely, they've got the tall players that can dominate aerially. But this week, Chelsea Randall not playing, and Gould not playing. So they're 2 key talls not playing. So I think we should win, but they're a watch for finals if they get those back in a bit of form. Because if you remember last year, under 2 goals both times we played them.
Yeah, and Randall was massive both games.
They got the closest to us. So I think they're the biggest watch that come finals time. If they've got the full team back, and unfortunately injuries. You touched on injuries for us earlier. What have we got? 4 or 5 out? They'd be in the best 6 of any other team.
Yeah,
pretty much in the comp.
Sheeran,
Gat, Flash, and King now. Mia King. I mean, she'd probably be the best midfielder in most other midfields. Mia King, and Sheeran as well. Right. So I'm tipping a 4-goal win.
Yeah, I think that's about right. It'll be a tough game. Obviously, they've got a lot of good players with Hatchard, Marinoff, etc. So, won't be a walk in the park, but I think it'll be an early wrestle, similar to what a lot of our games have been in the past few weeks. Early wrestle, but our class will shine through.
They've got the good midfield with Marinoff, Hatchard. They've got a good ruckman who'll get first hands to it. And they've got intercepting defenders. I think it's Biddle is one of them who will sag off whoever she's playing on and try and intercept the long or the hat kick forward. But if we run it, they haven't got speed. Speed is their Achilles heel, and obviously coming with speed is good ball movement, and we've got both in spades. So I'm expecting us to win.
Well, I wholeheartedly agree, and I could have saved myself some time and money by I went to WA, obviously, to watch the wrestling.
Tell the listeners, how was the wrestling?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. 3 nights, sold out every night, just loud and rambunctious the way we all like to be. It was a brilliant experience, but I could have saved my time because Vicky Wall, in that game against Richmond, hit one of the cleanest DDTs for any wrestling fan out there when she just dropped Monconti on her head.
Yes. And that was on Facebook or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, the club
put it up.
Put a video up. They had Big John hitting an RKO, John Cena, and then...
who's, of course, her goal-kicking music is John Cena, You Can't See Me.
Full circle moment.
Yes.
Look at us.
Look at us.
But, that's about us for today. Have you got anything else for the
No, that's it. Have you got any
people out there?
you got any stories from your trip to WA? I've got one, which I'll prompt you on. You met one of my favourite wrestlers. The Miz. Yes, very good.
Yeah.
How was he?
Oh, as charismatic as you can imagine.
How was he?
He was awesome.
Thank you. I gave you the lead.
Yeah, he was brilliant. Rottnest Island, for anyone who travels around Perth, obviously our new home away from home.
Yes.
For to bring it tight back into football. Very good experience, and not for the faint of heart riding around there. I think we did 18 kilometres on the bike.
Nice, yes. I did see a little post the Mrs. Baz put up. You were sadly lagging.
No, I had some gear. I had some problems with the
too much
gears.
weight, not enough cardio.
I had a few issues with the gear.
Yeah, sure you did.
Yeah, that was a stitch up. That was just a complete stitch up.
Anyway, my travel plans are to go to Perth. Only been there once, and I'm going to try and go when the footy's on over there. Obviously, the only footy that counts is North Melbourne. So I'm trying to get the leave a line so I can go over there for a week or two and watch both games in our new home away from home.
Exactly right. We won't be waiting till Friday to post our AFLW reviews. Obviously, we've both been doing a little bit of travelling, so we've had to sort of rejig our pod plans, but we'll be back on the straight and narrow now. And we've also got a podcast coming up to review our crystal ball predictions with the Frog. He'll be back on, and we'll have a look at what we predicted all the way back in early Feb.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at what was said, but I'm not feeling great about my chances.
I'm not feeling very confident. I could be on donuts, although I think I did predict the premiers.
Yeah,
from memory, so I might get one. I might get one right.
My pick for the Premiers couldn't even win a final. That's how well I'm going.
Who did you pick?
I had the Giants. I'm fairly certain.
Of course you did. You didn't have the Crom? Because they didn't make the finals the year before.
They burned me the year before. I picked them to finish top 4, and then I think I had them about 10th this year. But anyway, we're waffling a bit. We'll get there, and we'll have a bit of fun and a laugh at ourselves and celebrate the few that we get right.
Yes. All right.
But, we'll be back to review the game against the Crows early in the week. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for your continued support. Please like, subscribe. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe on YouTube. Like, comment, tell a friend. And of course, if you missed the chat with Blaheem Bogue, it was fantastic. And we really enjoyed it. We got some great feedback from you guys as well. So thank you very much for that. So that's us for today.
Yes. Until next time, Kangas.
Thanks, guys. Go Roos.
So join in the chorus and sing it one and all. Join in the chorus, North Melbourne's on the ball. Good old North Melbourne, they're champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for